It was a normal Tuesday morning when I received the text. What? It was from Maya, my sister, the one who had belittled my career choices for years. "Hey, can you help me get an interview at your company? I'm really struggling here," the message read. I froze. Maya and I had always had a complicated relationship, especially regarding our careers. I was the creative one, the dreamer. Maya, the sensible corporate one, always mocked me for not following the traditional path. She'd say things like, "You're just throwing away your future for some pipe dream." For years I endured her comments, taking them with a grain of salt. But now, here she was, asking for my help. It felt surreal, almost like a twist of fate. I sat there staring at my phone, conflicted. The anger that had been building up inside me for so long resurfaced. How could she? After everything, after all the times she mocked me, belittled my passions, now she needed me. My heart raced as I debated how to respond. Part of me wanted to ignore her, to let her figure it out on her own. But the other part, the part of me that still cared about her despite everything, wanted to help. With a deep sigh, I typed out my reply. "I'll see what I can do, but don't expect it to be easy." It wasn't much, but it was a start. As I sent the message, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of betrayal, even if Maya didn't realize it. Alex sat at their desk, staring at the phone for what felt like an eternity. They had sent the message, but it hadn't quite felt real. Was Maya really that desperate? Or was she just pretending to need help, trying to force Alex into a position they couldn't escape? Alex rubbed their temples, trying to clear their thoughts. It wasn't just the fact that Maya was asking for help. It was the fact that Maya had never once understood the depth of Alex's choices. She'd never seen their dreams as valid, always looking down on them for not fitting into the mold of a typical career. Now Maya needed them. That fact alone made Alex wonder if they were being played. They weren't sure if Maya had truly changed, or if this was just another episode in their ongoing sibling rivalry. The frustration and anger bubbled up again, the old wounds reopening. Alex wanted to say something else to Maya, something that would make her understand the weight of her past actions. But they didn't. They had already said enough. As the hours passed and no response came from Maya, Alex's frustration turned into something else, a dull ache of uncertainty. The day dragged on and still no response. Alex's mind raced with 1,000 thoughts, each one more confusing than the last. Had Maya actually taken their words seriously, or was this just another manipulation? Maybe she didn't realize the effect her words had on Alex. Maybe she didn't even care. The longer Alex thought about it, the more conflicted they became. Part of them wanted to confront Maya about her past behavior, to let her know how deeply her words had hurt. But another part of them hesitated, wondering if it was worth it. What good would it do to dredge up the past when there was a chance for healing? Finally, Alex decided to give Maya the benefit of the doubt. She was family, after all. But as they sat there, waiting for Maya to reach out, a cold, heavy sense of betrayal weighed on them. Why did they always have to be the bigger person? Why couldn't Maya ever see things from their perspective? It was exhausting, emotionally draining. It wasn't until late afternoon that Alex finally received Maya's reply. "I get it. I was wrong. Please, I'm really struggling. I know I never supported you. But this is real. I need you, Alex." The message was short, but the weight of those words hit Alex harder than they had expected. Maya was admitting fault. For the first time, Maya wasn't acting like she had all the answers. She was vulnerable. Alex wasn't sure how to process this shift. Was it sincere? Was it just desperation talking? Alex's fingers hovered over the keyboard. Part of them wanted to ignore the message, to walk away and never look back. But another part of them, a part they hadn't recognized until now, wanted to help. Could they help her? Could they even try to trust her again? After a few moments, Alex typed back, "All right, we can talk. But this doesn't change everything." Sending the message felt like opening a door they weren't sure they were ready to walk through. As the message sent, Alex's phone buzzed with a new notification, Maya's response. Later that evening, Alex found themselves in the same café where they had first sat with Maya years ago. The atmosphere had changed. The same familiar sounds, the clinking of cups, the murmur of voices, felt distant now, as if Alex were no longer part of the scene. Maya was already there, sitting at a table near the window. She looked different, less confident, more unsure of herself. The vibrant energy that used to radiate from her was replaced with something quieter, something more vulnerable. "I'm sorry," Maya said as Alex sat down, her voice barely above a whisper. "I was wrong. I've always been wrong." The words felt heavy, as if Maya were finally acknowledging the truth that Alex had been waiting to hear for so long. But hearing them didn't come with the relief Alex had expected. Instead, there was a sense of disbelief. Could Maya really have changed? Could the sister who had once belittled their every choice really be different now? Maya's eyes filled with tears, but Alex wasn't sure if they were ready to forgive her. "I don't know if I can just forgive you, Maya," Alex said, their voice softer now, but tinged with frustration. "You've hurt me, you've hurt us." Alex sat at a small cafe, nervously stirring their coffee. Sarah, their closest friend, had listened intently to their frustration about Maya's request for help. "Do you think she really means it?" Sarah had asked, her voice calm but probing. Alex had paused, unsure of how to answer. Maya's request felt so out of place, like a sudden shift in their sibling dynamic. For years, Maya had mocked Alex's choice to pursue something unconventional. Alex's job in the creative field had always been met with laughter and condescension. And now, Maya was asking for help in that very world she had so often belittled. Was it genuine? Or was this another play for control? Sarah sipped her coffee, her eyes never leaving Alex. "Maybe this is her way of apologizing," she suggested. "Or maybe she just doesn't know how else to ask for help." Alex's mind raced, caught between the possibility of forgiveness and the sting of years of mockery. "I don't know," Alex replied, their voice barely above a whisper. "I guess I'll find out when I see her." Alex had always known Maya's world, corporate, predictable, and controlled. Maya had never understood Alex's artistic pursuits. She'd always said, "Get a real job," dismissing Alex's passion with a wave of her hand. But it wasn't just the career choice. It was the way Maya had belittled everything Alex stood for. It had stung deeply at times, especially when Maya would boast about her job promotions and vacations, as if Alex's path was nothing more than a waste of time. Alex had often kept their distance, retreating into their own creative bubble to shield themselves from the hurtful words. "You've always let her get to you," Sarah had said once. "You know what you're doing is real." But it wasn't just Maya's words that cut. It was the way she had made Alex feel like they were the odd one, the failure. Now, sitting here in the cafe, Alex found themselves questioning if they could ever forgive her for all those years of judgment. The meeting with Maya was set for the weekend. Alex had agreed to meet her, though the decision felt like walking into a storm. Maya's message had been vague, only stating she needed help with a job interview, but Alex knew it was more than that. After all, Maya had never admitted to being wrong before. This would be a new experience for both of them, one where Alex would have to be the bigger person, despite everything. The thought made Alex anxious. Could they really offer help without feeling resentful? Could they let go of the anger and bitterness that had festered for so long? The more Alex thought about it, the more they realized that this wasn't just about helping Maya find a job. It was about something deeper, healing the rift that had grown between them. But it would take more than just words or a job referral. It would take understanding, patience, and maybe even some forgiveness. Something Alex wasn't sure they were ready for yet. When Alex arrived at the cafe to meet Maya, they were greeted with an uneasy silence. Maya was already sitting at a table, staring down at her phone. When she saw Alex, her face softened, but the awkwardness was palpable. "Thanks for meeting me," Maya said, her voice low and uncertain. "I know this is weird. Asking for help, after everything." Alex didn't respond immediately. They sat down across from Maya, noticing how different she seemed, more vulnerable, less confident than the sister they had known. I didn't expect to hear from you, Alex finally said. Maya bit her lip, her eyes avoiding Alex's gaze. I know. I've been stupid. I never took you seriously. I guess I thought if I didn't see it my way, it wasn't worth anything. Alex felt a strange mix of emotions wash over them. Hurt. Sympathy. Anger. How could Maya admit to being wrong after all these years of mocking them? And yet, Alex knew that this moment, this raw honesty, was the first step toward mending their broken relationship. I don't know if I can just forgive you, Maya, Alex said after a long pause. You've made me feel worthless for so long, and now you expect me to just help you. Maya's face fell, and for a moment, there was no sound between them. The bustling café, the murmur of voices, felt distant in that moment. I get it, Maya replied quietly. You're angry and you should be, but I'm not asking for you to forget the past. I'm just asking for a chance to make things right, if you'll let me. Alex's heart pounded in their chest. It wasn't that they wanted to hold on to the anger. It was just that the years of hurt were too much to ignore. But as they looked at Maya, really looked at her, they saw a different person. Someone who was finally willing to admit their mistakes. It didn't make everything okay, but it was a start. Alex took a deep breath and exhaled slowly. All right, they said finally, their voice softening. I'll help you, but this doesn't erase everything, Maya. You've got a lot to make up for. Maya nodded, her eyes welling with tears. I know. I will. The next day, Maya's first interview at Alex's company was scheduled. Alex had reluctantly agreed to help her get a foot in the door, but nothing could have prepared them for the awkwardness that would unfold. Alex had spent the morning trying to stay focused at work, but their mind kept drifting to the interview. How would Maya handle it? Would she show up in her usual confident, self-assured way? Or would the nervousness she had hinted at in their last meeting be too much to hide? Alex tried to push the worry aside, but a part of them couldn't shake the doubt. Maya had never shown much interest in truly understanding Alex's world, much less navigating it. Was it unfair to expect Maya to suddenly be good at something so alien to her? As the time for the interview approached, Alex sat at their desk, fidgeting with a pen, half hoping that Maya would fail miserably so they wouldn't have to endure the guilt of offering help, but also fearing that she might somehow succeed and make everything feel even more complicated. When the call came in, informing Alex that the interview was over, Alex's heart raced. The relief didn't come. Instead, there was only an uncomfortable silence between them. After the interview, Alex couldn't avoid the impending confrontation. Maya texted them, "Can we meet again? It didn't go well. I really need to talk." Alex sighed, wondering how much more they could take. They had seen Maya fumble before, but this felt different. Maya wasn't just failing in a job interview. She was failing in front of Alex, the one person she had always looked down on for their creative ambitions. The one person who had always been a reminder of what Maya had deemed a wasted career. Yet, there was something about Maya's vulnerability that stirred something deep within Alex. A sense of pity mixed with an old unspoken desire for Maya to finally understand them. As Alex walked to the cafe where they had agreed to meet, they felt an unexpected sense of dread. What would this meeting reveal? Was Maya's failure a lesson she would learn from, or would she brush it off and go back to her familiar world of corporate success? Alex wasn't sure, but the weight of the question hung heavily over them. Maya sat at the same table as before, her hands clasped tightly in front of her. She looked small, defeated, her professional exterior shattered. The smile that once defined her confident corporate persona was now absent. When she saw Alex approach, her face fell, and for a brief moment, Alex felt a pang of guilt. "I messed up," Maya said quietly, her voice barely above a whisper. I froze. I didn't know what to say. They asked me questions and I just couldn't answer. Alex took a seat across from her, unsure of how to respond. Maya had always been the one who was so sure of herself, always proud of her achievements, but now she was raw and vulnerable. It was hard for Alex to reconcile this version of Maya with the one who had once mocked their career choices. Maybe it wasn't the right fit, Alex said cautiously, unsure how to offer comfort without feeling like they were making excuses. Maya looked up at them, her eyes filled with frustration. It wasn't just that, she said, her voice tinged with shame. It's me. I've been pretending I'm good enough for all of this when I'm not. I can't keep doing this. Alex felt a deep sympathy for Maya, but also a growing frustration. Was this the moment she would finally acknowledge all the hurt she had caused? Or was it just another step in the cycle of excuses? The conversation between them stretched on for what felt like hours, but Alex still couldn't find the words that would fix everything. Maya had finally admitted she wasn't as perfect as she had made everyone believe. Yet, Alex was still struggling to accept the apology, or whatever it was that Maya was offering. It wasn't just about the interview. It was about years of putting down Alex's dreams, years of feeling like they were always less than Maya. As the minutes passed, Alex felt their own walls begin to rise. Maybe Maya was right. Maybe it wasn't just about the career anymore. It was about everything that had happened between them. I don't know if I can forgive you, Maya, Alex said, their voice cold despite the vulnerability in Maya's eyes. You've made me feel like I was always the problem. Maya opened her mouth to speak, but Alex held up a hand to stop her. I'm not blaming you for everything, but you've never even tried to understand me. You just assume I'm wrong. There was silence for a moment before Maya spoke. I know, she said, her voice thick with regret. I've been so caught up in my own world that I didn't see how much I was hurting you. For the first time in their conversation, Maya's eyes glistened with tears. But Alex didn't know if that was enough. Not yet. Alex left the cafe with a heavy heart. Maya's admission was the first step toward healing, but it felt like too little, too late. As Alex walked back to their office, they replayed the conversation in their mind. Had Maya truly changed, or was she simply caught in the moment, saying what she thought Alex needed to hear? Alex didn't know, and part of them wasn't sure they cared anymore. It wasn't about Maya's failures. It was about the years of hurt, the years of being made to feel small. Alex had built a life around their own creativity, but Maya's words still haunted them. Back in the office, Alex tried to focus on the task at hand, but their mind kept drifting back to Maya. Would this cycle of conflict ever end? Was there even a way forward for them? At that moment, Alex wasn't sure. It had been a week since the uncomfortable meeting with Maya, and Alex couldn't stop replaying their conversation. Despite everything, there was a small part of Alex that wanted to believe Maya's apology. But the emotional walls they had built over the years were not easy to tear down. Maya had been so certain of herself, so self-assured in her corporate life, that Alex had almost forgotten who she really was beneath the surface. But as the days passed, Alex began to see signs of a deeper truth. Maya's world wasn't as perfect as she had made it seem. One evening, after a long day at work, Alex received a phone call from Maya. "Aunt, I need to tell you something." Maya's voice cracked. "I've been lying to you and I'm sorry. Everything I've built, it's falling apart. I've been pretending to be successful, to have everything together, but I'm scared. I've been living this perfect life on the outside, but on the inside, I'm falling apart." Alex sat frozen for a moment, hearing the vulnerability in Maya's voice. For the first time, Maya wasn't pretending to be someone she wasn't. And in that moment, Alex realized that the person they had resented for so long was more like them than they had ever known. Maya's confession took Alex by surprise, but the more Alex thought about it, the more it made sense. Maya had always been the one who pushed everyone away, who acted like everything was under control, when in reality, she was terrified of failure. Alex realized that in many ways, Maya had been living a life of pretense, a life of expectations placed on her by herself and others. For years she had built this shell around herself, never allowing anyone to see her cracks. And now, the pressure had finally caught up with her. It wasn't just about the job interviews or the career success, it was about Maya's inability to let go of the facade she had created. "You don't have to be perfect, Maya," Alex said softly, their voice filled with empathy. "You don't have to be what everyone expects you to be. You're allowed to fail. You're allowed to feel lost." Maya paused before speaking again, her voice shaking. But what if I'm not good enough? What if I've been lying to myself this whole time? Alex took a deep breath, knowing the weight of those words. Then you're human, they said, their voice steady. And that's okay. As the days passed after that phone call, Alex couldn't stop thinking about what Maya had confessed. Maya was a shell of the person she had once portrayed herself to be, a successful, confident woman who seemed to have it all. Alex had always admired her, even resented her at times, for the life she appeared to lead. But now, it was clear that Maya had been struggling in silence, hiding behind her facade of perfection. It struck Alex hard. How often had they too hidden behind their own mask? How many times had they smiled and said everything was fine, when deep down, they were dealing with their own fears and insecurities? The realization shook Alex to their core. Maya wasn't the only one who had been pretending. Alex had been doing it too, and it hurt to admit that. As they sat at their desk one evening, trying to focus on work, Alex felt an overwhelming sense of guilt for all the years they had resented Maya without truly understanding her pain. The truth was, Maya's failure didn't make her weaker. It made her human. And Alex realized that they too were allowed to fail. They too had to stop pretending. The next time Alex saw Maya, it was different. The walls between them had come down, but there was still a sense of unease, like they were both still figuring out how to relate to each other without the years of judgment and resentment hanging over them. Maya had made an effort to change, but it was clear that she was still vulnerable, still unsure of how to move forward. I don't know how to make this right, Maya confessed, sitting across from Alex at a cafe. I don't even know where to start. Alex looked at her, realizing that no amount of words could erase the years of hurt. But maybe, just maybe, this was a starting point. Start by being honest, Alex said, their voice gentle. Start by letting go of the need to be perfect. We both need to do that. Maya nodded slowly, her eyes softening. I don't want to pretend anymore, Alex. I'm tired of pretending. The moment was raw, vulnerable, and fragile. But for the first time in years, Alex felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe they could rebuild their relationship, piece by piece. It wouldn't be easy, but it was a start. By the end of their conversation, Alex felt as though they were seeing their sister for the first time. The layers of judgment and expectation had finally fallen away, and in their place was a woman who was broken, vulnerable, and for the first time, truly honest. It was a moment of raw connection that Alex hadn't expected. I don't know what's next, Maya said softly, but I want to find out with you, Alex. I want to rebuild what we had. Alex sat in silence for a moment, letting her words sink in. This wasn't the ending they had imagined, but it felt like a new beginning. The road ahead would be messy, filled with twists and turns, but maybe, just maybe, they could navigate it together. Alex reached across the table, placing their hand over Maya's. We'll figure it out, Alex said with a quiet smile. One step at a time. The days following their conversation felt like a whirlwind. For the first time in years, Alex allowed themselves to open up fully, telling Maya things they had kept bottled up for far too long. There were moments of clarity, moments when Alex felt that they were finally understood. But then the anger would resurface. The anger from all those years of ridicule, the quiet pain that had built up inside them. It wasn't just Maya's corporate life that had caused the rift. It was the years of passive judgment, the casual mockery, and the constant feeling of being second best in Maya's eyes. You never took me seriously, Alex finally blurted out one evening after Maya had apologized again. I tried so hard to make you understand my choices, but you never cared. You just looked down on me. Maya's face twisted in confusion and regret. I didn't mean to, she said quietly. I was just scared. I didn't understand what you were doing, and it made me uncomfortable. Alex's breath caught in their throat. I get that now, they said, their voice cracking. But you hurt me, Maya. And you don't just get to erase that. There was a long silence between them, heavy with the weight of unspoken words. Maya took a step forward, her face filled with a mix of guilt and longing. I know, she whispered. I can't take back what I've done, but I want to make it right. Maya's words were soft, but they carried the weight of years of regret. I never understood you, Alex. I never took the time to see how hard you were working, how much you were sacrificing for your dream. Alex's heart felt a mix of sorrow and relief. For so long, they had carried the burden of being misunderstood. But now, Maya was finally seeing them for who they really were. The realization was bittersweet. It doesn't change what happened, Alex said quietly, wiping away a stray tear. It doesn't fix the past. Maya nodded slowly, as if understanding the depth of Alex's pain. I know. I want to start over. I don't want to be the person who makes you feel small anymore. The air in the room shifted as Maya leaned forward, her voice more urgent now. I know it's going to take time, but I'm willing to work for it, Alex. For us. Alex felt a flicker of hope, tiny, fragile, but there. I don't know if I'm ready to forgive you yet, Alex admitted. But I'm willing to try, and maybe that's enough for now. The two of them sat in silence, the words hanging between them like a fragile bridge, both unsure of what would happen next, but both ready to move forward. The next few days were filled with a strange mixture of awkwardness and tentative progress. Maya had taken steps to reach out more, to be there for Alex in ways she never had before. It wasn't easy. There were still moments of tension, moments where the old hurts threatened to resurface. But there were also moments of laughter, moments when Alex caught glimpses of the sister they had once been so close to. On the outside, things appeared normal, but on the inside, both sisters were undergoing a quiet transformation. Maya invited Alex out for drinks one evening, a casual offer that felt more like a peace offering than a social invitation. As they sat together, the conversation flowed easily, almost like nothing had changed. I'm still scared, Maya admitted, swirling her drink. I don't know how to fix everything, but I'm trying. Alex smiled faintly. Trying is enough for now, they said, their voice soft. Maybe that's all we can do. Maya's eyes softened, a slight grin tugging at her lips. Well, I'm glad you're still willing to try, too. As the weeks passed, Alex began to let go of the bitterness they had been holding on to for so long. It wasn't easy, and there were still moments of doubt, but the more they allowed themselves to see Maya's genuine efforts, the more their hearts softened. One evening, as they walked through the city together, Alex finally broke the silence. I don't think I ever told you how much it hurt, they said quietly, looking at the ground. Maya stopped walking, turning to face Alex. I know, she said, her voice filled with understanding. And I'm so sorry. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Alex took a deep breath, the weight of the years finally beginning to lift. You don't have to be perfect, Alex said, their voice steady. I'm not asking for that. I just need you to be real with me. For the first time, I feel like you're really here. And that's all I need. Maya reached out, touching Alex's arm gently. I'm here. I'm really here. And I'll keep showing up. In that moment, Alex felt a quiet peace settle over them, the kind of peace that had been missing for years. Months later, things were still imperfect, but they were better. The wounds between Alex and Maya hadn't fully healed, but the scars were no longer as raw. They had found a new way to navigate their relationship, one built on honesty, vulnerability, and a shared understanding of the past. They were no longer competing, no longer trying to outdo each other. For the first time, they were simply sisters, standing side by side. I'm proud of you, you know, Maya said one evening, watching Alex work on a creative project. Alex paused, looking up from their work. Proud of me? They asked, surprised. Maya nodded, her expression soft. Yeah, you've always known who you are. I admire that. Alex smiled, their hearts swelling with the rare compliment. Thanks, Maya. I'm proud of you too. It was a simple exchange, but it meant everything. For the first time in a long time, both sisters knew that they didn't need to be perfect. They just needed to be real. Weeks passed, and Alex and Maya's relationship slowly healed. Maya's efforts to change were clear, and Alex saw the transformation in her sister. Maya had begun therapy, tackling her fears and perfectionism. We're not perfect, but maybe that's okay now, Maya said. Alex agreed, feeling a quiet peace. Maya had started opening up more, and Alex admired her bravery. Maybe we both needed to hit rock bottom to realize we could rise together, Alex said. Maya nodded, grateful for Alex's willingness to try. It wasn't easy, but they were both committed to moving forward. Alex and Maya reflected on their past. Alex admitted, "I never realized how much I resented you." Maya nodded, acknowledging the hurt. It was a moment of understanding. "We've come a long way," Alex said, and Maya agreed. The silence between them felt comfortable, their bond slowly strengthening. Maya's personal growth brought changes, and Alex began to feel lighter. "I'm proud of you," Maya said, and Alex responded, "I'm proud of you too." The simple acknowledgement meant everything, as both sisters realized they no longer needed to be perfect, just real. As the year ended, Alex and Maya had rebuilt their relationship, though not perfectly. "We've come a long way," Alex said. Maya agreed. And they stood together, watching the city. Their future was filled with hope, and their bond stronger than ever. Months later, Alex sat at their desk, reflecting on how much had changed. They had finally found peace with Maya, not through grand gestures, but through quiet moments of understanding. The anger from the past had softened, replaced by an acceptance of their shared flaws. "We're different, but that's okay," Alex thought. Maya had shown up for them, and Alex was ready to show up for her in return. They'd walked a long road together, but the future felt lighter, filled with possibilities they had never imagined. It wasn't perfect, but it was theirs. Alex and Maya met up at their favorite café one afternoon. Maya was now working on her own terms, pursuing something that felt right for her. "I'm actually enjoying this," she said, her voice filled with a newfound confidence. Alex smiled, happy to see her sister so at peace with herself. "I'm proud of you," Alex said, realizing how much Maya had grown. It wasn't just about career success, it was about finding happiness on her own terms. One evening, Alex and Maya stood outside, watching the stars together. "Do you ever think about how far we've come?" Maya asked, her voice filled with wonder. Alex looked up at the sky, taking a deep breath. "I do," they said, feeling a quiet gratitude. "We've been through a lot, but we're still here." Maya nodded, her smile soft. "And we'll keep going." In that moment, Alex knew that no matter what came next, they had each other. Alex received a text from Maya the next morning. "I'm really glad we're doing this." Alex smiled as they typed back, "Me too. It's about time we let go of the past." They hit send and felt a sense of closure. The journey they had been on was far from over, but it had brought them closer than they'd ever been before. With each step forward, Alex realized that their relationship with Maya would be one of growth, acceptance, and mutual respect. As the sun set, Alex and Maya stood together on the rooftop, looking at the horizon. "We've made it through so much," Alex said softly. "And we're just getting started." Maya nodded, her eyes full of determination. "Yeah, we are." The future stretched out before them, uncertain but full of promise. As the last light of the day faded, both sisters knew they had found something worth fighting for, each other.